Okay. Demo 002. This is me showing Mama Jean. Right now, this is where Mama Jean is, where she shows up. This right here is a stand that shows up. This is like my seasonal stand. So when the seasons change, this for summer is going to show up. And basically, it's a hydration station. Brought to you by the Make Wellbridge Greater Society. There's a tip jar, which is super cute because it actually, every time you press the button, even if you're just pressing the button for service, if you have emeralds, it'll take an emerald. And I'm not going to show you any of the commands currently. What I am going to do is just show you gameplay with Mama Jean. So imagine you are, you're just playing in the world and you wake up, it's summer, and you see that this is here, uh, how you interact and how Mama Jean brings some old woman sass to the world. To give you a little history about Mama Jean is an older woman. She was clearly retired. The Make Wellbridge Greater Society thought it would be great to give people water. They will really, really want her to give garnishes. They call it a garnish, honey, carrot, or sugar. She absolutely hates that. They went up to her because they knew she was retired. She's always in town. So they knew she was cranky. They knew she didn't like the hot time. And they still tried to convince her, come, it'll only be for so many hours a day. Like this is 10 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So 10 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can sit there and you can read your paper. And just when people come up, give them some water and give them a garnish. Most of the time, though, she is not going to give you a garnish. She absolutely hates it. So let's go ahead and click this and see. All of my NPCs, most of my NPCs, if they're gone and they have certain service times or work hours or whatever, it is not done like every day. I'm not going around the world moving NPCs and bringing them out at certain times. What I am doing is making it player led. So clearly she should be, the time is 1400, which means 2 o'clock in the afternoon. She should be here. So we're going to check and we're going to see when I press this, she should show up and it should take a tip. It did. Here's Mama Jean. Let's talk to Mama Jean. Fanning herself lazily with the paper and finding no relief, she surmises the day is hot and will only get hotter before returning to her crossword. Yes? Exhausted eyes peer over the newspaper. A tip jar sits beside her. 3 garnishes rest on the counter. Honey, carrot, and sugar. It's all very awkward because now you're just going to say hi to her. What happens is we were given one mundane potion and she says it's just water. And that's our whole interaction. Now, we're going to try it again. Maybe I want to hang out with Mama Jean. And I'm going to I don't press that button. I'm just going to talk to her. I say hi again. And she says, you've been given, she says to you, they say tipping is optional, but is it? And that's kind of awkward because clearly she wants a tip. So I can tip her. That's fine. Hit it again. You look like a generous person. The water's free. The guilt isn't. Meaning she wants tips. Now, there's nothing that comes against you if you don't tip her. I'm just doing it for role play. Right there again, it says they say tipping is optional, but is it? No. Remember, people are going to be coming just to play the game. Or just, you're playing Minecraft, you're in the world of Wellbridge, you're doing different things. And you all of a sudden have someone you can talk to. I don't think anyone is really going to stand here and spam her. They might. But if they do, they spent their time interacting with something I made. So you have a 75% chance to get one of these, a thick potion, a mundane potion, or an awkward potion. You have a 25% chance of, oh look, she's done. So it's 1700, the time's 1700. She only stays until it says 1600. When 1700 hits, she says, I'm done for the day, get it yourself. And you can. You can literally just come over here, press the button, and get a water bottle. Okay, So now I got a water bottle, and that's one of the things she's irritated about. Oh, I keep trying to get rid of it. I can't. I'm not in creative. Because she just thinks that why, if you want to give water to people and you want to make life better when it's hot, just put out the refrigerator and let people get their own water. But she'll take their money, and she'll take the little bit of money that they'll give them. So let's go ahead and change the time and, show some more of the RNG. Because it should be glorious when players randomly get the better RNG. It's going to be kind of nice. It's going to be like, oh, wow. Whoops. Input set. Scoreboard. Players. Stats. Time. Bridge. And I will show you all of this when I do the entry. And it's not really a tutorial, but you can build it easily because I'm going to take the time and I'm going to, because Minecraft, you could end up losing worlds, whatever. I do not want to have to rebuild this from scratch and figure out all the logic again. I just want to have all the commands written down and how to do it. So if something were to happen, I can recreate Mama Jean or make another, NPC that has RNG like Mama Jean. So now it's 11. She should be here. Press this. She's here. So I'm going to talk to her. And she says that. I'm going to have to start drinking the waters. There's another one. As you see, it's not, I tried to make it so it doesn't happen all the time. So when it does happen, it's glorious. But look at that. Look at how many times you would have to do this. I just don't think people are going to spam this because when it does happen, it's glorious. Look at that. Like almost starting to frustrate me. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Oh my gosh. So this is not normally, so when I was doing it before, I was getting all the RNG where you got to pick a garnish. And I was like, oh no, this is happening too often. But now I'm seeing right now that it's definitely not happening too often. Now I'm wondering, should I make it, 30% of the time that you talk to Mama Jean, you get a garnish option? I don't know. I think it's just bad luck today. Anyways, let's go ahead and drink a couple more. I really hope this isn't too loud. I'm messing with the volumes, so I'm hoping it sounds not too loud. Oh my gosh, so many. That's crazy. So I've done it 12 times or 11 times, so more than that. But this is a good sign. This really is a good sign. I want this to last whenever I play this world. I don't want it to be the same thing all the time. I want it to be like you're, interacting with Mama Jean. And now, because I keep changing the time, clearly it is not 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It is going to be nighttime. But we're going to talk, because her system is according to this scoreboard right here, she'll still help me. Because she thinks it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. She's just annoyed. Here, it's just water. Okay, here's one of the RNGs. So remember, she's like probably reading her newspaper, and she says, "No movie for Mama. Figures. That is not a child's movie. Did you see the size of that ant? Terrifying. What garnish do you want? Honey, carrot, or sugar? Choose." She's kind of irritated. She puts down her thing. She talks about how it's not the movie that she wanted. This is very pretty at night. So that is a clue. I'm not overtly telling people it's a clue. Now she asks you, what garnish do you want? Let's think about this. So she clearly was looking at movies, and she decided this is not a child's movie. Did you see the size of that ant? Terrifying. So in my mind, when I have the three options, honey, carrot, or sugar, I think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids because there's a big ant in it. Um, it's funny that she would call it terrifying because the ants like the nice, they like the ants. So if I pick honey, I should get a buff. Now, I will get a buff no matter what I choose. So if I choose sugar, I will still get a buff. It's just not going to be as good of a buff. So I'm going to pick honey. And look, now I got my water bottle because no, she never gave me a water bottle or any kind of water when she talked to me like that. And I did correctly pick the right one because I got speed 5 for 8 minutes, which speed 5 is just amazing. Look at how wicked that is. It's so much fun. Speed 5, you're going to just be zooming around. If I wasn't messing with the time, it would be during the day, right? And, then you have for 8 minutes during the day, you have speed 5. You cannot even make this in a potion. It's only an effect. And it's pretty darn cool. So this is the random thing that you can get. So you're hoping she asks you for a garnish. So let's go ahead and drink this. Oh my gosh, so many of those. And let's clear the effects. And so she should leave because it says it's 1700. And she's not going to leave until you click on her. So you say hi. She's going to say, I'm done for the day. Get it yourself. Now, we're going to watch and see how this works. Just to kind of like show off the time system. But actually, no, I won't bother. The time will go back to 0 and then it'll go, when the sun comes up, it will go to 800. But we're just going to not worry about that. We're going to keep messing with the time ourselves. Whoops. Hello. All right. Service. It's just water. Typing. You see how rare this is? And it's on purpose because if you're playing with several people in a world or you're playing yourself, then every day during the summer, you come talk to Mama Jean once or twice. Maybe you hit her in the morning, you hit her in the afternoon or whatever. And, you might luck out with this. Now I have no anti-spam measure on here. You can spam her as much as you want. The only thing that's going to change is she's going to go away when the time is not the right time. And that's it. But in general, Mama Jean is just here for the public. And it's kind of cool having an NPC that isn't like, praising you or acting like she has some sass to her. She's irritated. She's not impressed. Okay, so the question, or whatever she said to us, was this. I have a confection to make. I used to have a good job like you, but the company was dissolved. Anyways, you ain't that fancy. What garnish? So she's kind of sassy, really sassy. And you can just imagine someone playing. They run through downtown. They see this. It's the middle of the day. They press it. You might feel good about what you're wearing. You might not even feel good about what you're wearing. Now all of a sudden, Mama Jean tells you you're not that fancy. So either you got dropped a peg or you feel better about what you have after you talk to Mama Jean. And she's irritable about it, right? Um, so the options are honey, carrot, and sugar. The answer to this would be sugar because it says confection and dissolved, right? But let's pick the wrong answer. Let's pick carrots. So I know the right answer is sugar, but I'm going to pick carrots. When I pick carrot, I get the water bottle that she was going to give me, and I get a buff. And this time I get speed 2 for 8 minutes. Still a really, really good effect to get for 8 minutes. And arguably, if Mama Jean was already out, you didn't even have to pay an emerald to get her here. Most of my NPCs, they have nothing, you don't have to tip them to get them to show up. But Mama Jean is like, yeah, okay, I'm here. And every year she gets, basically guilted into doing this, into having to sit here every day or summer in the middle of the day to give out water to people that want to have garnishes added, which is kind of funny. Let's see if we can get another one. Nope. Nope. Oh, here's one. How to make gold soup. What garnish? So again, she's reading this and, that's basically the thought process. She's not really asking you how to make gold. I guess I could have made that longer and, she's talking to herself. Um, but still, what if she does ask you that? So I would use carrots because you'd use 24 carrots in gold soup. And you can see this is from the wrong answer was speed 2. But when I picked the right answer, I was given speed 5. Now that's just a sample. And again, I made it rare. But when it does happen, it's kind of nice. And yes, you can spend your day talking to Mama Jean, but then you're not going to get anything else done just to get your speed buff. I don't know if it's worth anyone really spamming her. Maybe someone might say hi a couple times to her, but other than that, they're not going to sit there as much as we or stand there as much as we did just to get an 8 minute speed buff. Most likely, and think about it. At this time anyway, it's morning, considered morning right now because it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and um, she wouldn't be here. So you're not really like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Now, something that you could theoretically do, although it's the most impractical way to do this, is that, you can come and you can save your glass bottles in Wellbridge recycles. So 32 glass bottles equals 64 emeralds. So if I had, 32 glass bottles, I would get 64 emeralds and it would remove my glass bottles. But I just don't see anyone spending their whole Minecraft day harassing Mama Jean to get one uh, 8 minute speed buff. It's just something super nice because it's summer and we give you some water and now you can run around. So this is the this is the demo from Mama Jean. She is one NPC. There are no other NPCs. It is just her. There are no more of her underneath the floorboards, which if you end up watching me more, you will see that, oh, there's a lot of systems that you have to have a lot of Mama Jeans underneath, or a lot of NPCs underneath the floorboards, because this is all in vanilla Minecraft. Cheats are enabled and command blocks are enabled. And it runs really smooth considering I'm recording right now. I'm on a phone. Everything is done on mobile. This is all mobile Bedrock. And the reason why I'm doing this is, quite frankly, um, if the world breaks, if I lose the world, last year at some point, which, I mean, if I put this on YouTube, that could be, I want to say it was 2025, at some point, Mojang updated Minecraft, and all the Bedrock players on the computers lost all their worlds. That's terrifying to me because on mobile, I have no ability to save it, to export it, without trying to do all kinds of weird stuff. And if that ever happens and I lose this world, I don't want to have to spend another 15 hours making or figuring out the logic of the commands and how to do it, actually building the system again. I just want to have it written in my notebook. I want to have a visual aid to show me what Mama Jean did, how she did it, and then I can reuse. Hers is a little bit more complicated because she's kind of got like a little game, right? If you get the RNG to be able to choose something, choose a garnish, but it's sort of like a test because now, I don't have to have this little game, but I can also have RNG and run that through the NPC, and perhaps they say different things to you. The implications of what I could use this system for are very wide and reaching, so I don't want to lose the system, and I'm going to document it in case anything were to happen. Again, this is Mama Jean. She's really cool. I like her. I think I might actually use her. She might show up for some seasonal things in the world. But currently, right now, she is the lady that shows up in the middle of town to be cranky with you, just to beg you for tips, basically, or guilt you into tips, and to begrudgingly give you a garnish, which I think is just a kind of cool system. Something little. This is not supposed to be something you spend hours on, but when you put it in, it's going to be worth it. It's going to add a little bit of life. If you have a seasonal system like I do, if you follow the time, year, day, season system that I showed you and make your own, then it's cool because then you too can have a NPC with it, whatever kind of um, attitude or personality show up at different times of the year, and maybe they show up and they give out hot chocolate. Maybe you're gonna give them like, and you can use add-on stuff too, because the way the commands are, as long as you can with a command find that item if you put an add-on that has maybe hot chocolate, you could um, I could show you in future um, entries or future demos how to get the information so that you can give yourself one of those hot chocolates. And if you can do that as a command, you can make an NPC give it to you. So then when you click on the NPC, maybe you have to give them money. Maybe it's a hot chocolate stand that shows up in the winter, right? And then you have an NPC that shows up and they sell hot chocolate. And you as a player can show up, give them a few emeralds, and you get hot chocolate given to you from the add-on that you put on to the world. But this right here is just vanilla Minecraft. And so everything that I am going to show you primarily is going to be vanilla Minecraft because I made this world so that when this world is done, it has a full economy, full world that I can have fun in with just vanilla Minecraft. But this world is simply to be made copies of this world after it's done, so I can add add-ons and see if it really, does it add anything to my world or is it just lagging it out? 'Cause a lot of add-ons are, let's just be honest, spaghetti code. So, and then if you take them from it, you could ruin your world. So I do advise everyone to make a universal starter world. Sorry, I really like running around with speed 5. It's probably horrible to watch. Anyways, off my soapbox. Thank you for watching the demo for Mama Jean. And I do believe I'm going to use her as a recurring NPC that shows up to different events and stuff. Obviously outside of her summer duties at the stand.